Alright, today is Monday, March 25th. And, the bank runs in Cyprus, we're going to see tomorrow. I said in an earlier video that the amount of bank runs that we see are basically a measure of the people's awareness of how fragile the banking system is. Not only here in the United States, but also, in all the different countries over in Europe, especially Spain, Italy, and Greece. And now we found out that the Cyprus capital controls are limiting withdrawals to 100 euros per day. And we're probably going to see the same thing. So my prediction for next week, for the coming weeks, is throughout the rest of this week, we're probably going to see some soft bank runs in Italy and Spain, especially the people who have a lot of money and pay close attention to all this stuff. They've already probably pulled their money out, and I'm thinking the beginning of next week, we'll start to see some bank jogs here in the U.S. and then the beginning of the second week of April, we'll probably really start to see some heavier bank runs here in the U.S. As we see, what was it? Some finance minister came out and said, "Oh, Cyprus is the template." And what'd they say? 40%. And it was somebody I was listening to. Steve Quayle's Financial Insider V has said that the percentage of deposit confiscation here in the U.S. is going to be 30%. I'd say that's probably about right. I have to agree with that. It's a little lower than I thought it would be. That might be the number they're throwing around now. Remember, Cyprus started off saying 10%, and then they went to 20%. And the latest numbers they're talking about are 40% for the Bank of Cyprus, and then everything over 100,000 euro in the other banks will be completely wiped out. So, there's no telling how much is going to be taken, but it's going to be quite a bit. And let's see. The thing about a bank run is it doesn't affect you as long as you're first in line. The problem is that the big money is already getting out now, and when people, your regular folks start to figure out what's going on over there, it's not going to take long. The whole banking system, any day of the week, for the last 100 years that this system has been in place. I love, and I always go back to the quote of Henry Ford, and he said, if the American people ever found out how the banking system worked, there'd be a revolution before tomorrow morning. And that's what we're going to see. It's going to take them a little bit of time to figure it all out. But it's going to be sad to see a lot of people lose a lot of money. In a way, I feel bad for them. In a way, I don't, because if we had been paying attention, if we had realized where we were or where we are in this whole scheme of things, I watched this video this morning of Fox News with Peter Schiff, and then they followed up with Lou Dobbs. And Peter Schiff came out with fact after fact, really crunching the numbers, really showing people, hey, there's $8 or $9 trillion worth of insured deposits, and yet the FDIC only has 25 bill to back them up. That's Look at those numbers. Look at them. I mean, the whole thing is insolvent, top to bottom. And then Lou Dog comes out and says, "Oh, things are good. We're growing. We're, all this feel-good language without any numbers, without any facts." I don't know whether he's being pressured to just lie to the people, but that's what the media does. You got a host of a show that's going to lie to you, and then you got a guy that's actually in the business and running a bank. And I love his banking model. If I were ever to start a bank, it would be I would run it with that 100%, 100% deposit back. You don't loan out anybody's deposits. You charge them a fee to hold the deposit, and but you don't need any deposit insurance, because as long as you don't make loans with people's deposit money, you could have everybody show up in a bank run and you'd be able to pay everybody out exactly what their account says. In the whole rest of the banking system, if 5 to 10% of the people draw their money out, the whole thing goes bust, and then you've got 90 to 95% of the other people's money being wiped out, gone. So it's all one big debt Ponzi scheme, and the whole thing is coming down, and the sooner the better. We saw Bitcoin topping out over 70. And I saw an article on Silver Doctors where they launched their first Bitcoin ATM. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't have any faith in Bitcoin. I'm pretty much on the side of Chris Duane and his analysis of Bitcoin. It's just another. At the end of the day, if the power goes out, you don't have no Bitcoin. Whereas if you're holding a tangible asset like gold and silver coin, the electricity can't shut that off. And it's, of course, better than a piece of paper. So, I'm pretty disappointed overall. There's very little awareness. I thought today that we would see bank runs in Spain and Italy, and if there are, they're small and the media's not reporting them. I was hoping to see big long lines, and just not yet. Not yet. It's a world of procrastinators is what I'm seeing. Everybody's putting it off. Oh, it's not going to happen here, or oh, I'll have time to pull it out before things get really bad. And you can't stop a herd mentality once the switch is flipped. There's going to be bank runs, and the key to this one is you got to be first. And if you're not first, you might as well not show up. So that's all for now.